decision maker. What you did with WAP, that's what you're good at, so stay in your lane. And from that conversation, I felt like what's going to end up happening in the future with Monet and Kane's character is that Kane is going to get tired of her just treating him like the muscle of the family, just as the shooter, not having any real say so, and always choosing Drew over him. And when he finds out that the daddy wants Drew to take over the family, that's really going to piss him off. I feel like also Monet is going to do something that betrays Kane, and he's going to turn on his mother. Now, I can see Monet dying by the hands of Kane. That is a twist where instead of him doing something to Drew, I can see him being the one that does something to his mother because he wants her approval so bad. He's a mama's boy. From that part when he was like, "Ain't that what you wanted me to do?" And she was like, "Are you gonna always have my back?" He was like a little lapdog. Now that's what I see happening, where Kane is going to end up turning on his mother after she betrays him, and he's going to kill her. The reversal of when Kanan killed Sean, it will be the child killing the parent. That's what I think might happen.
Yeah, I said that on season 1, episode 4 review 2 months ago. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Saw it coming months ago. Hey guys, it's me, Keisha. I'm back with my All Tea All Shade Power Ghost Biblical Bible Book 2, season 1, episode 6. If you've already watched tonight's episode, then you know why I played that video. But we'll talk about that later on in this review. So on tonight's episode, it begins with Davis meeting up with Sax to work on the case. And, you know, they're working on putting Tariq away and getting Tasha off the stand. Now, at this point, we don't really know where Davis is coming from. We don't know if Davis is the op or is he an ally. I'm guessing that they're going to do like this reversal switcheroo where he's going to play Sax and actually come through for Tasha and Tariq, but we shall see. So Sax says as soon as Tasha is released, he's going to handcuff Tariq right there in court, and then Tasha gonna be mad and suspect Davis had something to do with it. Davis is like, she could be mad from the comfort of her own home because I'll have her win and you'll have your killer. So Tasha calls Tariq, who's in class early, by the way, nigga finally on time, and tells him that they're going to trial. And she doesn't understand why Davis still thinks that they can win, and neither does Tariq. But he was like, we got to trust him like he's all that we got. And she was like, all right. But you know, Tasha is smart. She got an inkling that something ain't right. Something in the milk ain't clean, bitch. So the students come into class and notice that Tariq is there early. And they looking like, well, all right, nigga. So he rushes to get off the phone with his mama. Light-skinned Keisha character is back, and I love that. I hope next season she gets an even bigger role because I really love her on the show. So in class, they're in class with Caradad, and they discuss Locke versus Hobbes and whether people are fundamentally good or bad. And I think that's what this episode was about, is, you know, the choices that we make as people. And Tariq doesn't give an answer in class. He really can't decide because internally he's struggling with that as well, because there are parts of him that are good and there are parts of him that have turned quite sour, and he's towing the line like he's living a double life. So Davis and Sax are in court for jury selection. The judge warns them to play nice because, you know, they've been beefing this whole time, but little does she know that they're working together. So they pick a predominantly minority jury, and they're like a lot of like men that are like old and nerdy and shit. So they know that these people will side with Tasha pretty much. And the judge is surprised by their jury selection. So Steven is afraid that they'll have a mistrial and tell Sax this, but Sax is like, everything's going to be fine. We're not going to have a mistrial. Then on the other hand, we see Paula telling Davis that they will most definitely have a mistrial. And he's like, he's cool with it because in his book, that's a win. And she looking like, you ain't never been okay with no mistrial. He was like, look, I got this. Trust me. I know what I'm doing. And he tells Paula to get him prepped for his first witness, which is Francis Johnson. Jackson, aka Two Bit, aka Courtney Kip's boo thing in real life. Now, also remember that it still has to come out that Paula and Davis are having an affair, because remember, he is married. So I can't wait for us. Did we meet his wife already? I think we did meet his wife on the episode. If not, I can't remember. But yeah, I can't wait for that whole thing to come out. So Sax and Davis go to visit Two Bit in jail. Davis tells Two Bit, they both go to see him separately, by the way. So Davis tells Two Bit that he'll get him out of jail and represent him. He's like, I can get you back on the streets, cuz. So Davis brings in fake ass Angela and aka Blanca, and she tells him they both want Sax, and Davis is like, you're gonna go to Sax and tell him that you want this plea deal. Blanca is gonna tell you exactly what to say on the stand, and you gonna help me, and I will help you get back on the streets in Queens. You could be dealing by the end of this week what you say, what you say, what you say. So of course Two Bit is in, because he is thirsting to get back out there. So Monet tells Kane that she's taking Drew and Diana down to the bar to do some accounting and to shift some product around. Diana and Drew come downstairs. They don't want to go. They feel like that's one of they little, soldiers named Owl's job. They like, why do we got to do this? And she tells them they've been spending too much time down there at that goddamn Stansfield, bitch. You ain't Lisa Stansfield. You ain't been around the world, and I can't find my baby. That bitch was so pretty back in the day with that her baby hairs and her little curly cues. I gotta find Lisa Stanfield. But anyway, that video was everything was black and white. She was that bitch. Where is Lisa Stanfield? Anywho, so Diana says, you sent us up there? Like, girl, we wouldn't be up there if you didn't send us up there. Like, did you forget, oh? And she says, and by the way, you go up there and Zeke's there. And Monet says, you ain't Zeke, and Zeke does what I say. And Drew was like, Zeke does what he wants. And Monet says, Zeke ain't in nobody bed. He ain't supposed to be and keep secrets. Anything else, Miss Thing? And he was just sitting there looking stupid in the face. So Kane automatically thinks that she's talking about Diana. Like, he is not even thinking about Drew. So Monet leaves out, and he immediately darts over to Diana, grabbing on her, and was like, did you fuck Tariq? And she was like, no, nigga, and if I did, you ain't my daddy. Like, mind your motherfucking business, my nigga. So she tells Drew to tell him it ain't her. Like, tell him what the fuck is going on. Tell him you over there getting your dick sucked by the basketball forward or whatever the position is. So he doesn't, however. He lets Diana take the fall, and she look at him like, damn, really? I'm like, I thought me and you was better than that. I keep your secrets for you. I hold you down, and you ain't gonna take up for me? Like, damn, that's fucked up. And right then and there, I was like, okay, Drew, I don't like you. That was a pussy ass move. So he ends up walking out. And Kane tells Diana that she can't be fucking with Tariq because they're in business with him. And she snatches away from him and was like, I'm not fucking him. Like, get the fuck on somewhere. But he, of course, does not believe her. He grabs his gun and gets prepared to go pay Tariq a visit. Because, he think he's somebody daddy. He think he the daddy of the house, bitch. So Tariq goes to Lauren's room to give her an item of hers that she left in class. And they talking about Hobbs and Locke again, and she asks him, is he good or is he bad? And he asks her, is she a good girl? Is she a bad girl? Is it good that I never made love? I never knew. I'm like, this ain't a Wale song. So they almost kiss. And as soon as they almost kiss, it's knock at the door. And it's her nigga Malcolm. And Malcolm is pissed off because she didn't forgot he was even coming into town that weekend. And he got screenshots of her at Tariq's little party drinking and shit. And he gets on her about it. And she looking like, nigga, you keeping tabs on me? Like, we doing that now, girlfriend? Like, where they do that at? So Tariq step out, and he looking like, well, damn, y'all spend a lot of time with each other. Like, what's up, Jabari, whatever your name is. And he was like, Tariq. So, he was like, y'all be good, y'all stay up. And Tariq strolled on out the room, and he was looking at her like, bitch, don't make me Ike your ass. So Sax asked Steven to give Two Bit a plea deal. And so Steven then makes a phone call to get the deal done. Diana and Drew ask Monet why they got to do hours work once they get down to the bar. And she says because they're spoiled. And then she tells them what jobs they're going to do, and she takes their phone and sits them on the countertop. Now, I was like, any mama that's going to take your phone, first of all, ain't going to take it and put it right there in front of you where you can easily get up and go look at it. They gonna take the phone with you. Now, I don't know who on this writing staff ain't got no kids, especially teenage ones at that. Like, you gonna take the phones with you to make sure that they don't fucking use it. The only reason why you will leave the phone there is if you got cameras in that motherfucker where you can watch exactly what they doing and know if they got up and did it. Like, that's an amateur move right there. Come on now, writers. So, Drew's phone immediately started going off. He gets a text message from his little boo thing named Everett. And the dude saying that they need to talk. Because remember, last time they was together, they got into it because Diana knew about their little love affair. And he does not feel comfortable yet with coming out to the public. So, of course, Drew feeling some type of way. He want to answer, but Diana was like, don't you do it. Don't do it, Bernie. Don't do it. So Sax tells Riley, his niece, I love that little girl style. I love the way she dresses. I love her hairstyle. I love everything about her. He tells Riley to stay away from Stansfield, Tariq, and Brayden. And she was like, no, I got a man, honey, and I am in love, and this is your fault. Sax said, you don't know what love is. And Riley was like, whatever you have with that little real doll, that's not love either. He was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Her name is Rebecca. And there was a gag if your mama gave me. I was like, they have really made Sax's character creepy, but I'm here for it. So Riley says, I'm going to prove to you that he has nothing to do with this. And I was like, here she go trying to be Nancy Drew, and her ass going to end up getting killed behind Brayden ass on some Holly shit. Watch. So Brayden confronts his brother Trace about stealing the product from their room. Trace, arrogant, conceited, Trump supporting ass, admits that he did it, and Brayden tells him to give him back his money. He was like, give it back to me now. And he was like, no, like, I'm not giving you back shit. So they start tussling and fighting, and Trey get on top of him and giving him noogies and wedges and shit. When Kane walked in the room, was like, what the fuck are y'all doing? He was like, this is Tariq room, man. And Trey's thinking he big bad and shit, thinking he Trump vice president or some shit. Tells him, we're having a family conversation, so why don't you table whatever ghetto bullshit? And before he could even finish, Kane take out his gun like, nigga, who the fuck is you talking to? He's like, where's Tariq? And Brayden was like, he's in class, like, chill the fuck out. Trace about to pee on himself and shit. I was like, we're all that vibrato now, motherfucker. So Brayden says, you're Kane, right? Tariq told me all about you. And Kane looking like, nigga, how the fuck you know my name, white boy? So he was like, we work together. We're on the same side. Didn't Tariq tell you about me? Brayden, me. So Kane's still looking at him like, nigga, who the fuck are you? So he was like, if you're here for money, we're missing a little stuff. Just give me some time. I'll go get it and everything will be cool. So at that point, Kane realized that Brayden works with Tariq. And he was looking like, oh, so this little nigga ain't just doing it by himself. He got help. So he was like, you know my name and you know my business. Now you saying you ain't got my motherfucking money? Oh, no, y'all niggas got me fucked up. Let's take a ride. So they both like, oh, shit. So they try to take their phones with him. He was like, nope. Put the phones down. So Brayden throws his phone on the chest set as a clue for Tariq to know that some shit that went down based off the conversation that they had. I think it was episode 5 when Tariq told him if they ever come looking for him or whatever, these are the pieces that you need to play on the chessboard. So Drew gets another text from Everett and is so pressed to talk to him. I was like, Drew, girl, that's obviously you the girl in the relationship. So Diana's like, you ain't even want to claim this nigga to Kane this morning. And Drew was like, I don't talk about my niggas with him, and you shouldn't either. I love that line for some reason. He's like, I don't talk about my niggas with him. So Diana said, so you let him think I slept with him? And Drew was like, you will eventually, basically calling his sister a hoe. And she was like, no, I won't. He don't like me like that. And I don't like him like that either. And Drew was like, girl, you ain't got to lie to me, Diana. And I love that line because it shows how vulnerable Diana is. And, it sucks as a girl when you like somebody and they ain't feeling you. You know that they like somebody more. They don't see you that way. But I really honestly feel like I told y'all this episodes back that he likes Lauren now, but Lauren gonna end up switching up on him, especially when she finds out what he got going on. And with this whole selling drugs shit, remember her brother is in rehab or whatever, or was in rehab or is in rehab or whatever. And when she finds out what he does, she not going to be feeling that shit. She going to switch up on him and give his ass up. But Diana going to be the one that held his ass down. And he going to realize that he's made the wrong decision and that he picked the wrong motherfucking girl. But she in her fifis right now, as she should, you know what I'm saying? I really hope that they put him and Diana together. I hope they don't do this whole light skin thing over again with the whole, like they did with Angela and Ghost. But knowing Courtney Kemp and them, that's exactly what the fuck they gonna do, child. Anywho. So she tells him not to go as Everett texts him again. And she was like, oh, he thirsty. And I was like, both of them, bitch. So Tariq returns to his room to see the door unlocked. And when he goes inside, Riley is in there reading one of his books or whatever. He was looking like, the fuck? So Riley says, the door was already open, and she tried to play it off or whatever. She was like, I was looking for something to write a note on for Brayden. He was like, on my side of the room. So he take the book and he put it back in his drawer on top of the gun that he had. And I was like, now why would Tariq have a gun sitting in his desk drawer? That makes no sense. If anything, he would have the gun stashed where he had the pill stashed in a place that's not so obvious. Once again, I don't know why the writers wrote that way. It's such an amateur move. Tariq would be smarter than that, but okay, writers. And then at this point, it's obvious that he knows Riley is up to no good. So why he hasn't done something about it yet is beyond me as well. I'm not really understanding that, why he giving her these passes even though he's side-eyeing her. So he asked, she was like, do you know where Brayden is? He was like, why don't you just call him? So she calls him, and the phone started ringing in the room, and he peeps that the chessboard is all in disarray. So he's like, fuck, like he putting two and two together, like some shit that went down. So she's like, I'm gonna wait. And he was like, no, you need to go. I need a minute to get to think or whatever. She was like, no, I'm staying anyway. And like, how the fuck this bitch just gonna say she's staying? Like, bitch, this ain't your room. Get the fuck out. Like, that's another thing. Like, put her the fuck out. So Drew takes his phone and ends up leaving anyway, even though Diana told him not to. The dick was calling. Your body's calling for you. Your body's calling me, baby. So Trace is in the back seat. Brayden's in the front seat with Kane. And Kane throws them both bags of product and tell them to go deal on the corners. And Trace was like, excuse me, we're Westons. If you just take us back to campus, I can give you a cute little Rolex, girlfriend. And he was looking at him like, bitch, I don't want that shit. I got 5 of them already at home. He was like, get out my car and go sell my shit. So Trace punk pussy ass get out, and he about to piss on himself again because he in the middle of the hood and he is scared shitless. So they pull off, and Brayden was like, he's not ready for this. Let me go help him. Kane was like, nah, you got your own corner, girlfriend. Get to work, bitch. So he dropped him off. Brayden then walk up on these dudes that's sitting on a stoop or whatever and was like, I ain't got no phone, but how about we roll up? I just ain't got no blunt. Y'all in for it. And they was looking like, all right, but in real life, niggas just ain't gonna let no random white boy walk up on them with weed. Thompson, hey, you want to smoke? They're gonna be looking at you like, nigga, you got a wire on you, or you with the feds, with the police? What the fuck is going down? You trying to get us locked up? Motherfuckers just ain't accepting no weed from just randos in the middle of the night. Come on, writers, stop it with the bullshit. So, Trace is amping himself up on the block too, trying to build up the courage because he is scared out of his mind. Everett goes to Drew's, Drew goes to Everett's room and it was like, I'm here, what you want? And Everett was like, what happens to me if Zeke finds out about us? And Drew was like, as long as you hit your shots, he's good. This is not even about him anyway. This is about you not being okay with yourself. And Everett was like, I'm good with myself. I just want a pro career too. Isn't there something that you want? And they fuck. And I was like, that's all this nigga wanted anyway, was your little dick. So they fuck. And then we see Brayden then offer the dudes on the corner product at a discount. And then they was like, oh, all right, I'm going to call up my folks. Make it make sense, Jesus. What random black boy is going to be on a corner and this white boy walks up to them with a bag full of product? And they're like, yeah, sure, we're going to call up our people. Yeah, we're in. Like, come the fuck on. Like, that part was so unbelievable. It was so stupid. Like, come on, writers. Please work harder, please. Like, that was so random and dumb and unbelievable. So Riley and Tariq are in the room playing chess, and she uses the game as a way to pick his brain. And she was like, if you know about him being in trouble, like, you can just tell me. And Tariq was like, I don't know nothing. Like, he playing along and acting like everything is good. So Drew and Zeke is laid up after Drew and Everett are laid up after fucking. And Drew was like, we got to figure this shit out, bro. And Zeke was like, I can't tell them I'm gay and do shooting for the Spurs. Like, it just don't work like that. And unfortunately, we still live in a world where, athletes and rappers don't feel comfortable and actors don't feel all the way comfortable with coming out, especially men. So Everett's tutor then drops off his work, and Drew realizes that it's Tariq's program of selling their product. So Monet returns and sees that Drew is dipped and she pissed. And so Diana was like, I'll make him come back. I'm just need my phone, girlfriend. So she didn't con her way to getting her phone and going up there to the school so she can pull up on Tariq. So Monet was like, you got 2 hours and you better be back. So Brayden is out there cooking up the block, selling out. Kane pull up on him, get him back in the car, pleased that they, he sold out a product. They then go to get Trace, who is on the corner scared for his life. They pull up and see Trace getting robbed and jumped. Brayden want to get out and go help him. And at first, Kane didn't let him. He was like, all right, go on help the little nigga, because he got his ass beaten. I was like, that's what you get, bitch ass nigga. So, Diana goes and gets Drew, and they discuss Tariq's little business, and he tells her that Everett doesn't know a thing about it. So Diana was like, Monet gonna love her in this. It might save your ass from bucking up to her. And Drew was like, I don't think we should tell her. She was like, nigga, what? Like, nigga, what? Nigga, who? On some Jay-Z type shit. Like, I don't know who you talking to, bro. I ain't about to lie to mama. So Diana was like, this is what she wanted to know. Like, the fuck, why won't we tell her? And Drew was like, yeah, but then we'll have no reason to come back up here, girl. I'm trying to get some dick and you trying to get some dick too. Let's get it. So Diana was like, Drew, just go home. I gotta go make a stop. So we knew right then and there she was going to pull up on Tariq. So Tariq tells Riley, I don't trust you, bitch. Like, and she apologizes for the drink. And he was like, what you talking about? She was like, that night, it was meant for Brayden, but you end up drinking. He was like, what are you talking about? And she realized at that point that she told on herself. And right when he was putting 2 and 2 together, it's a knock on the door, and it was Diana. And I was like, once again, Riley ass is being, telling on herself and keep on making herself a target, and they have Tariq not doing anything about it. Like, when is he gonna check this bitch? So Diana tells him that they need to talk. So he asks her, did Kane and Drew come by early? She was like, I don't know. I don't keep up with them niggas. I came here to talk about this course correct shit. Yeah, nigga, I know exactly what you've been up to. So she tells him, I think it's a genius idea. It's perfect. I don't think Monet is going to understand it, but I dig it. So Tariq was like, you ain't got to tell her. And Diana was like, none of y'all get that lying to her is worse than telling her the truth. Like, this bitch is psycho. Like, I'm 35 years old and she's still taking my phone away from me. So Riley sees Tariq's phone go off and grabs his phone and takes a screenshot of a text message that he got. But she ends up dropping the phone. And Tariq and Diana end up hearing a thump. So she was like, I thought you said wasn't nobody in your room. She was like, so is Lauren in there? And he was like, nah, she ain't in there. And he was telling the truth, but she doesn't believe him. So Tariq was like, it ain't even nothing like that. And Diana was like, I thought you were different, but you're just out for yourself no matter who you hurt. So she goes to walk away, and Tariq grabbed her and was like, I need you to trust me that Lauren is in there. And Diana was like, you know what? Monet will be giving you a call, motherfucker. And I hate that she, showed her hand that's showing that, she digging him and that she feels some type of way and that she jealous. But she a kid, she young or whatever. So we shall see how this whole thing is going to play out between this little triangle. And then Effie coming back. It's just a mess. So Tariq goes into his room and sees that everything is still in place. But he knows that he heard something fall. And Riley just sitting there like, bitch, what? So Trace is in the backseat, beat the fuck up. Kane gets pulled over by the police, but it's none other than his mama boo thing, Ramirez. And he tells Brayden and Trace to get out the car and to go get in his car. So he tells, Kane, like, this, once again, I'm covering your ass. And Kane was on some shit like, nigga, you ain't my daddy. Like, the fuck you think this is? And he was like, you work for me. And Ramirez was like, you don't get it. We all work for your father. Go home, little nigga. And that's when it finally clicked in his head, like, my mama don't run shit. Like, why the fuck am I listening to her? Like, the fuck? So Davis and Paula question Tasha about 2-Bit, and she says that he saw her before, but he probably does actually know Tariq. So she gets nervous. And Paula was like, Sax won't bring Tariq up. He's irrelevant. And Tasha's like, are you sure? And Davis tells her that she has nothing to worry about. But Tasha's second guessing things because the whole point of this is to keep Tariq out of jail. Like, so she's worrying like, some shit is going to go down where my son going to end up getting found out. So she hella nervous. So Monet, little boo thing, Ramirez, tells Trace and Brayden to forget about anything that happened that night and that he won't press charges for them, distributing drugs. Trace was like, I'm a West End, I think we need to tell our parents. And Brady was like, nigga, shut the fuck up. We ain't telling nobody shit. Just go along with it. So Trace agrees. So, but Trace gonna end up being a loose cannon, and he gonna end up getting done in. He gonna end up getting killed because his mouth is reckless and he a hothead and he think he got, he has white privilege behind him. So he gonna end up getting done in. So Diana returns home and Monet was like, I'm hard on y'all because y'all are good. Like you and Drew are good. Like y'all been good all of your lives. And this was a soft moment for Monet's character to really show that she really does love her kids and she wants the best for them. But at the same time, she's running this drug empire. So she does have to train them and prepare them for this life that they have, ahead of them. Like, so it's a double-edged sword. So Diana tells her about Tariq tutoring scheme. And Monet says, you're telling me this because you want me to shut Tariq down? Why? Did you sleep with him? And she was like, no. She was like, all right then, and you'll get over it. From now on, he's business. And once again, Diana was leading with emotions instead of being, on some G type shit. And I like the way that her mama set her down. Like, okay, then you'll get over this bullshit. If you ain't fucked them, keep it the fuck moving. Fuck that little nigga. So I was like, girl, you pretty. You better get you a new little boo thing and make that nigga jealous. So Ramirez texts her that he coming over. So Brayden returns and tells Riley that he went on a bar crawl with his brother. She don't really believe him, but she goes along with it and tells him that he coming home with her that night, and that the next day they're gonna go have brunch with her two mommies. So when she leaves out the room, he tells Tariq about what happened with Kane, and Brayden was like, I earned that money tonight, and I loved it. Like it wasn't my parents' money, it was mine. And Tariq is looking at him like, nigga, you ain't going back out there. Like, calm the fuck down, girlfriend. But once again, I told y'all that Brayden is going to be a wild card. Like, he act like he 10 toes down, but shit ain't right with him. He gonna end up betraying Tariq. I really honestly believe. So, Tariq says, you think Trace will keep his mouth shut? And Brayden was like, I told him he had no fucking choice. So Brayden leaves and Tariq calls Monet up immediately. And Monet was like, you want to tell me about these white boys Kane had on the corner? He was like, nah, you want to tell me why you sent Kane up here? And she was like, Kane was on his own tonight. Diana told me about this little course correct shit. And he was like, I mean, what you want me to explain it to you? She was like, nah, I already know as much as I need to know anyway. We good? And he was like, yeah, we good as long as you don't send Kane back up here. And she was like, I won't. So she hangs up the phone and we realize Ramirez is sitting right there next to her. And Ramirez says, Kane is out of control. You need to get him in check if you can. And she's like, fuck you mean if I can? And Ramirez is like, you're not a man. You may not be able to get him back in line. And that's foreshadowing what happens next in this episode. So Monet was like, Kane is not your son. He's Lorenzo's son. And just like I'm not yours, I'm Lorenzo's too. And Ramirez got his feelings. He was like, oh, bitch. Oh, you want to throw up who bitch you is. Oh, okay, girl. So next time your son get in trouble, how about you call Lorenzo? Don't call me sis. Oh, okay. All right. And so Mary looked like, oh, this bitch in her feelings. I'm going to have to call her later. Pillow talking shit, suck his dick, do something, get this nigga all off my dick. So Sex questions 2-Bit on the stand, and he playing dumb about Tommy and Ghost and says Blanca got him set up. That's how he landed in jail. Sack says, you realize that lying under oath is a violation of his plea arrangement. And 2-Bit says, you gave me transactional immunity as long as I show up and answer your questions to the best of my ability. I held up the end of my deal, girlfriend. Yeah, I got a lawyer. And so Sax looked at, they was like, seems like it. So Sax says, have you ever met anyone in the St. Patrick family? And 2-Bit was like, I've never met Ghost, James St. Patrick, never met Tasha, but I do think that I helped her son Tariq once. And Tasha looking like, what the fuck? This is what she was scared of. So David says, David gets up and questions him and says, how did you help Tariq? And 2-Bit says, I helped him get home. David says, to your knowledge, Tasha St. Patrick's is not a queen pin. And 2-Bit says, no. David says, do you know how Tariq got lost? And 2-Bit said, I heard he got caught up with the wrong people. David says, as far as you know, my client didn't know these wrong people. And 2-Bit says, I have no knowledge of your client in any criminal activity at all. So they're setting it up where they're making Tariq look suspicious and showing that Tasha is not guilty, which is in her favor because it's going to get her released, but then it's putting doubt on Tariq. And Tasha is at this point side-eyeing the fuck out of Davis because this is what she was fearing was going to happen. So Kane comes home the next day and Monet is up waiting on him in this fly ass jogging outfit. And she gets on him about the whole Brayden and Trey situation. And he says they wouldn't even know my name if it wasn't for Tariq, because he feeling some type of way that she didn't consult him on working with Tariq. So she tells him that he's so worried about Tariq that he's forgetting the bigger picture. And he tells her they have queens on lock. They don't need these rich white kids. So Monet says, I don't have to explain myself to you. I'm running this shit. As long as you're in my house, you will fucking listen to me. And Kane was like, girl, this ain't your house. This is Dad's house. Everything you have comes from him. So he realized, like, I'm up here acting like I'm scared of this bitch and doing what the fuck she say. Like, I ain't gotta listen to her, like she on the payroll just like I am. So they go back and forth arguing, and Diana and Drew come down the steps, and Diana get tired of him disrespecting their mom, and she grabbed his arm. He was like, and he was like, don't put your motherfucking hands on me. And then Monet grabs him, and he was like, get the fuck off me. And he elbowed her in the face, and she fell down. And he tries to give her his hand because he felt bad for a brief second, but she smacks his hand away. And he then storms off and leaves. And this goes back to the audio that I played from you guys from episode 4, because I foreshadowed it then. And I told y'all that things between Kane and Monet were going to sour. They're going to end up becoming enemies because she wants to be the man and he wants to be the man and the daddy is the man. And I once again stand on the fact that he's jealous of the way that she treats Drew and Diana. And he's going to be even more upset when he finds out that the plan is for Drew to take over the family business. He doesn't like the fact that his mama is sleeping with Ramirez. He doesn't like the fact that his mother does not include him in on the decisions that are being made. He wants to be that nigga, and that's not going to work. And they're going to end up, like I said, being on opposite ends of the spectrum, especially after tonight's episode and what he did. Things will never be the same between them two. And that also showed that what Ramirez said was right, that you're a woman, you're not going to be able to control him. Only a man will be able to control him, as we saw later on in this episode. And she realizes now, I got to watch this little nigga because shit ain't right with this little motherfucker. So Diana and Drew help Monet ass up off the floor. So then we see Kane at the jail talking to his daddy and tells him that they need to do something about Monet because she's changing up everything. And Lorenzo tells him, out there, Monet is me. I know you're not swinging on me. Do what she tells you. Learn how she runs shit. So when it's your turn, you'll know. Once again, he gassing him up to make him think like you gonna run this shit when knowing the whole time that's not his motherfucking plan. And that's going to further piss off Kane when he learns that they've been hiding the truth from him, and he gonna go against both of their asses. He ain't gonna fuck with neither one of them. Now, I also think I didn't believe it in the beginning when y'all was like, I don't think that Kane is Lorenzo's son. I still am firm with believing that he's his son, but just to throw a monkey wrench in there, I can see the writers being like, okay, he finds out that's not even my daddy, and he find out that I have no claim to running this business, and that really make him go berserk and say fuck everybody. But I'm still believing that he is Lorenzo's son. So they hug, and Lorenzo says to him in his ear, don't forget, son, you're my soldier. And that was a key sentence right there, because that is all he is. You're a soldier. You'll never be boss. You'll never be the runner up to the throne. Like, you're a soldier for me. So on the way out, Lorenzo looks at one of his guards and give him the okay of what to do next. So as Kane was leaving out, he's waiting for the door to open. Several guards come in behind him. They then turn off the cameras, and he knows right then and there what's about to go down. He goes to swing on one of the guards, and he get his shit rocked. They fuck him up real quick, fuck him up real good. He bleeding out the mouth and shit. He on the ground. Lorenzo comes back in and leans over him and says, don't you ever put your hands on my wife again. And I was like, ooh, Jesus loves me. Oh, bitch. Lorenzo could have got it right then and there. I was like, yes, God, Lorenzo. Yes, God. Bitch, Mary, bitch. Girl. I'm Team Lorenzo now. He fucked up his own son. Yes, God. So Tasha calls Tariq and tells him 2-Bit took the stand and brought him up. Tariq was like, why? She was like, I don't know about this shit. So Tariq was like, you're the one who said we should trust Davis. And Tasha was like, well, I mean, he did make me look good. He was like, all right, we gotta, keep the face. Everything's gonna be all right. And she was like, I hope you're right. And he's gonna be wrong. So Stephen goes off on sex for looking bad in court and letting Too Big back out on the streets. And then we see Davis call sex, and he doesn't answer. And then we see Too Big leaving jail as the episode ends. It was a good episode, except for those few things that I felt were dumb and not believable. I like the dynamic of what's going on with Monet and Kane. I like Kane's storyline moving forward. I really love Diana. I want to see Diana win. I want to see Diana and Tasha be really close and her be a good mother-in-law to her. I want to see Tariq fall in love with her. Don't see it for Lauren. I don't like her. Like the actress, don't like her. So yeah, overall I give tonight's episode a B minus because of the unrealistic plot storylines or whatever in the show's episode. Would have gave it a C plus B minus. That's what I'm giving it. Let's talk down below in the comment section. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit the notification bell button. Remember, I'm participating in Vlogmas. I have videos dropping every day for the full month of December. Love you guys. See you on the next video. Bye.